Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steve and Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about 5-minute land due diligence. When you buy a piece of property, the greatest moment in all of the anatomy of a transaction is when a seller calls you back. You send all the mail out and the whole thing, and a seller calls you back, or they send a letter back and they sign it with your a dollar amount, and you have to go find out if that is actually worth it.
Right.
That's what we call due diligence. Can you close it? Does the property have access? So we provided the tools for that for our members, and that's the euphoric moment for me. We're like, oh, how can I do this in 5 minutes and find out and call a seller back or do
it on the phone
and close a deal?
Exactly.
I mean, this is people spend too much time on this when they're brand new because they think they're going to find a flaw or something like that. So we're going to dispel all that here in a minute.
Perfect.
Before we get into it, though, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Okay. Mike asks, "Hi all. I know this subject has come up before in the forums, but I haven't seen a definitive answer. What about liability insurance on properties that you temporarily own? I have an LLC and all property will be purchased inside that LLC. Should I get an umbrella policy in the name of the LLC in case someone is injured while visiting one of the owned properties?" Stephen and Jill, what are your thoughts?
He addressed
Thanks,
the odds.
Mike. I like that.
Here's what we do. That's good, short, simple grassroots question, and I appreciate it. And here's a good short answer. We have general liability insurance, errors and omissions insurance that any company would get. Any company would get that has to do with any of it. Do we have specific, and that's all in an LLC, actually a set of LLCs that Jill and I own. Jill owns some, I own some. We own some together that actually don't have anything to do with real estate. They're up for other stuff. So they all have their own standard errors and omissions, and liability insurance. Do we have slip and fall insurance on real estate? No. Because the likelihood of something happening is so tiny, and we believe that the insurance policy that we have covers that.
Exactly. Good answer.
Yeah.
Ha!
Today's topic, wow, that was fast. That's awesome. Today's topic, 5-minute land due diligence. This is the meat of the show. So, like I described right before the question, you have a piece of property. You sent a mailer out. You got the mailer back. You're staring at it. It says $5,332.21. Your gut tells you the thing's worth $15,000 because you know how you price the mailer. Mm-hmm. So you've got to spend the next few minutes figuring out if there's something tragic in this deal that's going to not make you run to the bank and get a cashier's check or open escrow or whatever. So what do you do?
First thing I do is, I have a checklist. You want to capture all the pertinent information while you have that person on the phone. So we have a sheet that I share, and I've sent it out. I've just sent it out to the planet too, by the way. It's out there. Right. So, and if you want a copy of it, email my team at support@Land Academy, and we'll send you one, because I've done this in email blast before. I've shared my checklist, which is, it has all the pertinent information. In my team, literally, we print it out. It's on the desk. The call comes in, and you fill out all the stuff, everything in there from who's calling you, their phone number, their contact information, and then it gets into, number one, are they even the owners? Can they even be making this decision? What's the relationship? What's going on there? You're capturing the information about the property, the size. Did they accept the offer? What do we need to know? All that stuff. You're capturing on the sheet. Do they own more property too, by the way? That's one that we throw in there. You always want to ask. Anyway, so that's the first thing is my staff has a list of questions, and this is all the stuff that we need to make decisions. So say I'm just a one-man show, and this is me, I'm getting this call. So first thing I would do is have this sheet, and I'm going to be filling out, make sure I get the important stuff. If the person has time on the phone, and they're calling you back, and they're retired, and they, hey, I got your offer, and I'm ready to accept it. If you want to look it up right then and there too, while you're talking and doing these things, I personally would open up Parcel Fact. Parcelfact.com is our site that's free to our members, and There's other ways that you could look up stuff, like on the county's sites too. What were we going to say?
Jill and I don't want to interrupt you, but we went through a tremendous amount of time and expense to create a website called ParcelFact, FACT.com, where you put in the state, the county, and the APN, the assessor's parcel number, because these rural vacant land properties don't have a mailing address.
Right.
Most of the infill lots don't either. And it gives you all the ownership data and a corner points GPS, especially it's very helpful with rural property.
Right.
So you can see in Google Earth whether there's access, if the guy on the phone that you're talking to is actually the person who owns it. So we have really made that incredibly simple.
It's awesome.
It used to take days.
And that's
before
it.
we made that.
Isn't that
But anyway,
great?
That's the first thing I do is I go to ParcelFact and just see if it looks good.
Right.
Just see if the property's like cool.
Yeah, is there really access? Well, and there's so much in there. Like, real quick, yep, I'm talking to John Smith. It shows right there, John Smith. Done. And you can check down and you can verify, 5.02 acres. Great, I was right on that. And you can go down and go,
he paid...
that's what I was going to say. He bought it in 1985 and he paid $3,000. I'm like, all right, this is good.
Too.
Exactly. Or I'm buying it for $4 and it's worth 10.
Yeah.
So I look at it that way too. I like to know that he's obviously interested in my offer because the guy's going to make a little money.
It's not a plug for ParcelFact at all. It's just a useful tool for our members.
Right. And this is the stuff that you're doing your due diligence. These are the things that you need to do. So I just kind of gave a scenario. So maybe let's just go back now and talk about when you're doing your 5-minute land due diligence, however you're doing it with the guy on the phone, or you take the information, jot it down, and hang up the phone.
Yeah.
And go do your due diligence. What are the important things? For number one, who owns it? Are you dealing with the right guy?
Imperative.
Right there, if you're not dealing with the right person, it's that. Then you should just stop right then and there. My dad, I think he wants to sell or something like that. Don't waste your time.
I'm calling for my neighbor.
Exactly. Don't.
My parents have been passed away 22 years ago, and I've been paying the taxes.
Right.
That's a big problem.
You need to quickly assess, get that out of the way first of all, because it doesn't matter how good the deal is. If it's impossible to convey the property and buy it and put it into your name, then what's the point of talking any longer?
Right.
Or there's 6 siblings. This is a common one too.
Yeah.
There's 6 siblings. 4 of us want to buy. We'll figure out the other 2. When you're all on board, call me back, then we'll talk.
And I have to say this.
Yeah.
These things very rarely happen. These
True.
bad things. 9 times out of 10.
It's not
maybe
that way.
8.5 times out of 10. It's just it's everything you think.
Exactly.
You're getting a great deal on a great piece of property, and the seller really wants to sell it, and they're on the deed.
Yeah, often it's Bob and Sally Smith, and you're talking to Bob, and Sally's in the background going, how fast can they send the money?
Can they close it next week?
Exactly.
I've never wanted this piece of property.
I told you it was a bad idea.
You're a bad person.
Exactly. So I get the money too now. No. Anyway, so your 5-minute due diligence is really confirming the ownership. You're confirming the size. You're doing the 4 A's. You're going through all the 4 A's right now, if we've not talked those in a while, which is acreage.
Larger the better.
Access.
It's very good and helpful that people can get to the property.
Affordability.
Cheaper is better.
Attribute.
It's on a lake. It's close to a lake. It's close to the Grand Canyon. There plenty of sun for solar power. Water table's very near. I mean, there's 20 miles from Las Vegas. There's limitless attributes. Mountain views, 360-degree mountain views.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful trees, heavy trees, whatever. So those are the 4 A's. So you're going through that list. What other things do I need to check on? Is there an HOA? Check that stuff out. Make sure you want to know everything that you're getting into. Taxes. Where are they in the taxes?
Are there any back taxes accumulated? That's easy to. That's a phone call or a look up on the internet.
Right.
By the way, this all takes 5 minutes.
It's most often not on rural vacant land because most lenders won't lend on rural vacant land and it's undeveloped, so you won't generally find a lien. But please do the extra step and check it, especially on some of the transactions.
We're licensed providers for the data providers.
We can pull those ourselves.
Pull the lien report real quick.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
For like $1.50 or some crazy thing.
Check that. And then finally, after it passes all those tests for me, then my last check was my pricing on? Was I right? Oh, you checked that first?
I didn't say it on the show here, but I checked can we make any money on this thing?
Right.
And good does it look on the internet on Parcel Fact?
Right.
And then, quite honestly, I throw it to all to Jill's team.
Mm-hmm.
And Jill doesn't even do it. Her people do it.
Close the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. So, I mean, I think we covered it. So those are the important things you need to hit. So there won't be any surprises.
Yep.
The goal is here not to waste your time. Your time is so valuable. And don't look at and think of the property. It's just a line item. Don't think of it like, oh, how pretty is that?
What I see a lot of new people doing.
Don't do that.
People ask me all the time, what's the difference between super successful people in your group and people that, not so much? And the not so much people don't close a deal right then.
It's true. Don't let too much time pass.
Well, they don't. They think they missed something. They're afraid of failing. Because maybe you did miss something, and then maybe it's $5,000, and so what? But on your first deal, it's that you don't want to do that on your first, let's say, 10 deals. Mm-hmm. You want to be careful, but you don't want 2 weeks to pass by.
Right.
You
don't
really want to
over-research.
Get the deal done.
Yeah.
Get the whole thing done fast, and if you make a mistake, so what? You move on to the next deal.
So, yeah. And you'll fix it and find it. We have some of our very seasoned people like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed that one. Yeah. They owed something over here and I didn't catch it. And you know what? It's funny. The person I'm talking to is so wealthy right now. Writing a check is not a big deal, but it's just still kind of a little bit of I can't believe I missed that.
Which almost, again,
doesn't really happen.
95% on that stuff.
Right.
There's like a 0.5% less than that.
Exactly.
I mean, almost 16,000 deals we've done.
Exactly.
Afterward, getting stung by something like this, I don't think it's happened 5 times.
Yeah, and this is important to check. Even if you're going to use, I want to make this point. Even if it's a $10,000 transaction and your intention is going through title, where they will also double check this stuff, I would check it now ahead of time before it gets to that point, because you don't want to open escrow and be that far down the process and find out, oh gosh,
that's right.
It turns out that they owe $6,000 to the HOA and I was buying it for $2,000.
Yeah, you want to stop it right there.
You don't want to find that out later, so don't leave it for them. Do your homework up front, and then I also convey that stuff. If any homework I've done, I give it to my title rep too, to give them a little bit of a head start and just save some time and some money, and they love that.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Well, you've done it again. You spent another 15 minutes or so listening to the Land Academy Show. Join us next time where we discuss episode 800. Episode 800 tomorrow.
Wow. I'm excited.
What we have learned from our members.
And I have something special planned for that episode.
Jill's going to cry. I know it.
No, I'm not. But I have something great planned. They might cry.
Oh,
it's good. Just kidding.
What a tease.
I know. And we answer your questions, should you have one, posted on our free online community found at landinvestors.com.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
I'm excited for show 800.
Are you going to give stuff away?
Probably. There's going to be something good for show 800. I like it.
Jill's the kind of person, when she buys you a gift, she'll sit around and say, I bought your Christmas present or your birthday present.
Oh, I do that. That's
6
true.
years early this year.
I got you such a good gift. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
what?
Wait.
What good does that do?
I know. I'm so excited. Sorry.
It's torture.
At least it's only one day. It's not like it's 6 weeks. Like your birthday. By the way, you're going to love your gift this year. Share the fun wherever you are listening or watching. Maybe it's iTunes, maybe it's YouTube. And while you're at it, please rate us there.
We are Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.